I seek refuge in God from the outcast Satan. In the name of Allah, who is gracious, merciful. Quran topics by Tanvir Kazmi. Chapter number 16. Prophet Solomon and Prophet David, Dawud al-Islam. English audio number 1. Al-Baqarah 2, verse 102. They pursued what the devils taught concerning Solomon's kingdom. Solomon, however, was not disbelievers, but the devils were disbelievers. They taught the people sorcery and that which was sent down through the two angels of Babel, Harut and Marut. These two did not divulge such knowledge without pointing out, "This is test. You shall not abuse such knowledge." But the people used it in such evil scheme as the breaking up of marriages. They can never harm anyone against the will of Allah. They thus learn what hurts them, not what benefits them, and they know full well that whoever practices witchcraft will have no share in the hereafter. Miserable indeed is what they sell themselves for, if they only knew. Al-Anbiya 21, verse 78. And David and Solomon, when they once ruled with regard to someone's crop that was destroyed by another sheep, we witnessed their judgment. We granted Solomon the correct understanding, though we endowed both of them with wisdom and knowledge. We committed the mountains to serve David in glorifying God, as well as the birds. This is what we did, and we taught him the skill of making shields to protect you in war. Are you then thankful? For Solomon, we committed the wind gusting and blowing at his disposal. He could direct it as he wished to whatever land he chose, and we blessed such land for him. We are fully aware of all things, and of the devils, there were those who could die for him. There were those who would die for him or do whatever else he commanded them to do. We committed them in his service. Al-Naml 27 verse 15. We endowed David and Solomon with knowledge, and they said, "Praise Allah for blessing us more than many of his believing servants." Solomon was David's heir. He said, "O people, we have been endowed with understanding the language of the birds, and all kind of thing have been bestowed upon us. This is indeed a real blessing." Mobilized in the service of Solomon were his obedient soldiers of jinns and humans, as well as the birds, all at his disposal. All at his disposal. When they approached the valley of the ants, one ant said, "O you ants, go into your homes, lest you get crushed by Solomon and his soldiers without perceiving." He smiled and laughed at her statement and said, "My lord, direct me to be appreciative of the blessing you have bestowed upon me and my parents, and to do the righteous work that please you. Admit me by your mercy into the company of your righteous servants." He inspected the birds and noted, "Why do I not see the hoopoe? Why is he missing? I will punish him severely or sacrifice him unless he gives me a good excuse." He did not wait for long. The hoopoe said, "I have news that you do not have. I brought you from Sheba some important information. I found a woman ruling them who is blessed with everything and possesses a tremendous palace. I found her and her people prostrating before the sun instead of God. The devil has adorned their works in their eyes and has repulsed them from the path. Consequently, they are not guided. They should have been prostrating before Allah, the one who manifests all the mysteries in the skies and the earth, and the one who knows everything you hide and everything you declare. God, there is no other God beside him, the Lord with a great dominion." Solomon said, "We will see if you told the truth or if you are a liar. Take this letter from me, give it to them, then watch for their response." She said, "O my advisors, I have received an honorable letter. It is from Solomon, and it is in the name of Allah, most gracious, the most merciful, proclaiming, 'Do not be arrogant, come to me as a submitter.'" She said, "O my advisors, Counsel me in this matter. I'm not deciding anything until you advise me. They said, we possess the power, we possess the fighting skills, and the ultimate command is in your hand. You decide what you do. She said, the kings corrupt any land they invade and subjugate its dignified people. This is what they usually do. I'm sending a gift to them. Let us see what the messengers come back with. When the hoopoe returned to Solomon, and he responded, are you giving me money? What God has given me is far better than what he has given you. You are the ones to rejoice in such gifts. Go back to them and let them know that we will come to them with forces they cannot imagine. We will evict them, humiliated and debased. He said, O you elders, which of you can bring me her throne before they arrive here as submitters? One Efrit from the jinn said, I can bring it to you before you stand up. I am powerful enough to do this. The one who possessed knowledge from the book said, I can bring it to you in the blink of your eye. When he saw it settled in front of him, he said, this is a blessing from my Lord, whereby he tests me to show whether I am appreciative or unappreciative. Whoever is unappreciative is appreciative for his own good, and if one turns unappreciative, then my Lord is in no need for him. Most honorable, he said, remodel her throne for her. Let us see if she will be guided or continue with the misguided. When she arrived, she was asked, does your mansion look like this? She said, it seems that this is it. Solomon said, we knew beforehand what she was going to do, and we were already submitters. She had been diverted by worshipping idols instead of God. She belonged to disbelieving people. She was told, go inside the palace. When she saw its interior, she thought it was a pool of water, and she exposed her legs. He said, this interior is now paved with crystal. This interior is now paved with crystal, she said. My Lord, I have wronged myself. I now submit with Solomon to God, the Lord of the universe. Sabah 34, verse 10. We endowed David with blessing from us, O mountains, submit with him, and O two, O birds, we soften the iron for him. You may make shields that fit perfectly and work righteousness. Whatever you do, I am seer thereof. To Solomon we committed the wind at his disposal, traveling 1 month coming and 1 month going, and we caused a spring of oil to gush out for him. Also the jinns worked for him by his Lord's leave. Any one of them who disregarded our commands, we subjected him to serve punishment. They made for him everything, anything he wanted, niches, statues, deep pools, and heavy cooking pots. O family of David, work righteousness. To show you appreciation, only a few of my servants are appreciative. When the appointed time for his death came, they had no clue that he had died, not until one of the animals tried to eat his staff and he fell down. Did the jinns realize that he was dead? They thus realized that if they really knew the unseen, they would have stopped working so hard as soon as he died. Shiba's homeland used to be a marvel, with two gardens on the right and the left. Eat from your Lord's provision and be appreciative of him, good land and a forgiving Lord. They turned away, and consequently, we poured upon them a disaster flood, and we substituted their two gardens into two gardens of bad tasting fruits, thorny plants, and a skimpy harvest. We thus requited them for their disbelief. Do we not require only the disbelievers? We placed them between them and communities that we blessed other oses, and we secured the journey between them, traveled therein days and night in complete security. But they turned unappreciative and challenged. Our Lord, we do not care if you increase the distance of our journeys. They thus wronged their own selves. Consequently, we made them history and scattered them into small communities throughout the land. This could provide lessons for those who are steadfast, appreciative. Satan found them readily fulfilling his expectations. They followed him, except a few believers. He never had any power over them, but we thus distinguish those who believe in the hereafter from those who are doubtful about it. Your Lord is in full control of all things.